What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great night. Welcome back to the Z-Man Show. Mike here. We're talking The Ones Who Live by The Walking Dead, Episode 3, and I'd love to say that, hey, all is well, and Michonne and Rick are on their way back to Alexandria, and all will be well. But let's just say things are getting interesting. I'd say danger zone. Major danger zone. I mean, there were some moments tonight where I was just like, what the hell is going on? So it's not like there was a ton of concepts going on. So we know Michonne found Rick, and we know that they got back to the CRM, that Michonne's trying to play it off like she's a B, but she's clearly showing all the characteristics of an A. There's a little bit of mixture of a deception going on because basically Rick had Thorne lie for him to or lie to an extent, but basically just to try and get Michonne or Dana, what a weird Dana, what's it, Bethune or Bethune, whatever, what a weird name. But anyways, to get her through the process so that she could stay nearby, and Thorne agrees to do it, but she's seeing very quickly, Thorne is that Michonne, Dana, is very formidable, and she's just something stinking really, really bad. And there's a moment tonight when they're together, they go out to this area that was originally, I guess, bombed by Okafor and his fighter pilots or whatever, and she's questioning Michonne, and Rick is standing behind Thorne, and then Thorne is facing, obviously, Michonne, and at one point, Thorne starts to pull her knife, and I'm like, are you shitting me? Is she seriously, like, considering, like, killing Michonne off or something like that? And then, of course, Rick immediately starts to draw his weapon, which, interesting enough, I didn't think Thorne was aware of it, but it sounds like she must have heard him pull his weapon, but I guess she didn't think any shenanigans were going to go down, and Rick kind of played it off. But I was just like, oh my gosh. I mean, Rick would have completely ended her. See, this is the problem. Thorne doesn't know the relationship between Rick and Michonne, this Dana, if you will, and when she does find out, there's going to be sparks flying and explosions and everything else. I mean, Rick will absolutely end Thorne in a hot second. But he doesn't want to because they become friends over time. Even the general. So the general has promoted Thorne to this command major sergeant or whatever. She's got some serious authority now. Maybe that equal to of Okafor back when he was still alive. She knows like plans and things going on, and now like her eyes are opened, you know, but not in the way that Okafor probably had hoped for them. Now she's drinking the Kool-Aid, it sounds like. It's like she's on board with them and their missions and what they're trying to do. And apparently that base that Rick was setting up for all that time, there's some huge meeting that's about to go down with all the meeting of the minds or whatever, all the big leaders or whatever. If it sounds like me, like it's a perfect opportunity for Rick to try and create some kind of explosion or something like that to maybe take all these bad people out, because they are bad. I mean, maybe they're trying to do good, but the way they're doing it is just, it's shady as hell. But I know it's a tough world, especially with the apocalypse and whatnot. So anyways, we'll see more into that. But I feel like something like that's got to come, especially if they want to escape. Meanwhile, with that said, Jadis has totally put Rick's balls in a vice, if you will, because she's basically said, I've written basically a letter showing like where Alexandria is and all your people, and if you try to betray me or kill me or anything like that, that letter will go to them, and then within hours all your people will be dead. I mean, Rick is really in a tough spot, you know, and my mind's over here as I'm watching, I'm like, how in the hell are they going to get out of this, right? I mean, but that's up to the writers and good storytelling. So far, so good. I'm enjoying the show a lot. And Rick has a few moments tonight where he's trying to push Michonne away. First, by giving her a way out. And the problem was, he made it sound like they were going to leave together. And then she gets all the way to the this little embankment or whatever with a canoe there and even a body that Rick disguised. And Michonne realizes as she reads the letter that it was only meant for her to leave. And she's like, nope. I mean, we all knew she wasn't going to leave, but I was just like, that would have been the smart move probably, but she can't have it. So she's going back to try and find him, meaning talk some sense into him, say, hey, we got to get out of here together. But again, I don't think Michonne really knows the full stakes yet. And maybe if Rick had explained it the way Jadis put it to him, I mean, maybe she would have left. I don't know, but he didn't. He just kind of hardballed her or whatever. And you could tell Michonne was pissed around mid-episode when after she tried to escape or whatever, and he wasn't there. So we got to the scene where basically Thorne she's not digging Michonne whatsoever. And so much so that they had to go on this so they get out to the base and they're trying to get it prepped, and apparently there's a bunch of delts, that's the term for walkers or whatever, at least that's their term. There's a bunch of them heading towards this base, and if they aren't able to stop them, it could totally cut back the process, and all these people that are coming to meet there, obviously they won't be able to show up. And anyways, it can't happen. So I guess they get Michonne, like 4 others, random people, army dudes, or gals for that matter, and then obviously Thorne herself, and she decides that she's going to. It's like this. She kept calling it the ball, but it's basically some kind of like noise device that has an explosive inside, and I guess it's on like this huge dolly that they have to kind of push. But she decides that she's going to be the one to push it through, and I guess the others would provide cover. And she told Michonne just to hang back, I guess, but she said no kills. She kept saying no kills. So I'm like, well, what the hell do you expect her to do then? What's the point? So she starts to do it. She can't lift the damn thing, and then so at one point, Michonne just runs up, muscles it down and starts taking it on. And Thorne is yelling out to her, stop, you're breaking command, whatever. And so anyways, she goes down, then Rick joins her. It was kind of a cool little duo moment, but at almost a major cost, because as they start heading back and they're still clearing out a few of the last walker, delts, whatever in the area, all of a sudden you could just see that look on Thorne's face. I don't know if it was anger, jealousy, I guess pissed off because she broke the chain of command or whatever and didn't follow the orders because it was her plan, except it was a shit plan. And she starts to raise her weapon on Michonne. Now, we all knew, obviously, she wasn't going to get a chance to pull that trigger. And you saw Rick, he saw what was going down, and he gets in front with a walker and, just in time. And then he says, let's clear this out and get done. And then at the very end of the episode, Thorne is basically saying, you send her ass back. I don't want to see her ever again. If I do, we'll have to deal with this another way. I mean, she wants Rick on board. And furthermore, she also tells Rick, you're moving up. You're getting, I think, promoted. So all that's going down, and so Rick, he's pissed now because he sees, he goes, there's no way we're getting out of this alive. It's just not possible. They are stuck. And I agree, they are stuck. And so he's supposed to be taking her back. Well, they're supposed to be on a chopper going back, I guess, to the city to drop Michonne off. And there's this bad storm going on. I just thought of something with Jadis for a second, but anyway, we'll hit that on that in a second. But anyways, there's a bad storm going on, and I was kind of watching them, and Michonne kind of had that crazy, she's been having that kind of crazy look in her eye lately, because, like, nothing's going to come between anyone and her man, which is Rick. I mean, this is very clear, and I don't know, her eyes were kind of bucking like they have been recently, and I was thinking to myself, Michonne, you're not gonna do something. Oh, there she is. And she throws off her belt, opens the door, grabs Rick, and like throws each other out. I mean, number one, you're jumping out of a moving helicopter. Chance of survival, especially with everything that's going on, you don't know where the hell you are. I mean, hopefully they landed in some kind of lake or waterfall, but I don't know. I guess hopefully they'll put some context around that because, again, you'd be dead, right? I don't know. I don't want to dog the show. I hate to get too into semantics or whatever, but anyways, apparently they got out, and then the next scenes for the next episode, they find some interesting house facility. I don't know, kind of creepy thing. Maybe it's a CRM kind of stage point or something, or maybe a testing facility. I don't know. So it could be kind of cool to see what's going on in there. But I think in the next scenes, Michonne's like, we clearly need a timeout. Basically, I'm going to talk some sense into you, and if not, I'm going to beat the sense into you, and which is funny enough because Rick said, whether I have to tie you up or knock you out, I'm going to put you on that boat to get out of here. So, this is what love does to people, but sometimes it takes a lot to make the other one see the true path, which hopefully Michonne has the true path. But how are they going to get around this Jadis thing? She knows the location. She knows the people. We're going to have to see how that all works down. I don't know, y'all. It's looking a little rough. But I am really curious to see what goes on in the next episode. 3 left as we continue into season 1 here. And they haven't yet greenlit a season 2. So it's hard to say if there will be more of Rick and Michonne. I know Andy Lincoln was kind of, he wanted to be around his family and so forth. So I don't know if he's going to stick around with this or not. But time will tell. And plus, Rick's got to see Daryl at some point, right? I mean, we can't let the 2 brothers, not real brothers, but we can't let them go without knowing each other is alive and well and this and that, but we'll have to see. So I hope you all enjoy this. I was going to say one last little comment on Jadis. How about that little scene at when I guess Michonne was getting ready to almost leave, I guess with Rick on the chopper, and Jadis goes, she hasn't seen me yet, has she? And she goes, oh, now she has. I was just like, damn girl, playing with fire. She was kind of trying to touch Rick, like, hey, my room is always open with a great view. Or she just can't get over Rick, whatever. But she's asking for it too. She even offered Rick to say, go ahead, make a move, try to kill me, see what happens. So again, as the stakes are high and Alexandria's on the line, Judith and everybody else. I mean, you could think that maybe Rick and Michonne could live out their days in the CRM, but they never see their kids ever again. I mean, that is a huge trade-off, and I guess I'll pose my question to you all. If you had the choice to stay with your lover, husband, whatever it is in the apocalypse, but you knew you'd be giving up your 1 or 2 children and the rest of your friends and so forth, what would you rather do? Would you stay with the CRM, or would you try to find your way out? You know, knowing myself, I'd want to leave, but I think like Rick, with the stakes the way they are, I think I know I'd have to stay. I mean, right? You'd have to stay. As otherwise, one of you might, or both of you might get killed just trying to escape. And then it's just a total loss all around. Anyways, that's my thoughts and takes on it. Thanks for watching tonight, and I hope you all enjoyed this little short rant. Make sure to check out the future episodes as we get through Season 1 here, and I will catch you guys at the next review. See you guys.